And it is 5:30, so.
Okey doke. All right, welcome everyone to the Bridgewater Conservation Commission. It is June 27th, 2024. We have a quorum, so we can open the meeting. The time is now 5:30 p.m. For the record, the members and staff present: Harry Bailey, Marilyn McDonald, Eileen Prisco, Mark Peterson, Bob Rulli, Director of Community and Economic Development, and myself, Wendy Smith. I'll now read the governor's order for online meetings into the record. Disclosure pursuant to Section 20 of Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency. This meeting of the Conservation Commission for the town of Bridgewater will be hybrid and accessible to the public through remote participation to the greatest extent possible. There will be no public attendance permitted. Citizens who wish to tune in may do so via Zoom. The link or the phone number to dial in is always listed on bridgewaterma.org. Let's see. So just to run through real quickly, and I just want to say that for anybody that might be on that has been looking to know whether or not an item is going to be, that's on the agenda is going to be continued to the next meeting. We don't always know that until the last minute. So we can't really make it known to others that it will be continued. And as far as any third-party reviews with regards to any of the agenda items, unless we have had a chance as a commission to review the entire third-party review that comes in, we won't release it until all the commission members have had a chance to look it over. We can't have other people looking it over, knowing what's going on before we have a chance to know what's going on. So I just kind of want to put that out there. So with that, old business. And just so you know, first up, we have a notice of intent for Zero Lake Shore Center, map 83, lot 85. And I will read this into the record. Dear Chairperson and Commission members, on behalf of my client, I'm requesting a continuation of the June 27th hearing to the next scheduled meeting on July 11th, 2024. It is my understanding that the Commission's consultant, LEC Environmental Consultants, Inc., is not available for the June 27th hearing. For that reason, my client agrees to continue the public hearing to July 11th. We did get it in. We got it in a little while ago, but we needed somebody to be here. So while I'm in this right now, do I have a motion to continue Zero Lakeshore Center?
I will make a motion to continue Zero Lakeshore Center, map 83, lot 85, for conservation third-party review for their representative to be present at the next meeting, July 11th.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Harry. With that, a roll call vote. Marilyn McDonald,
Aye.
Harry Bailey,
Aye.
Eileen Prisco, Mark, are you still abstaining?
I can't vote on that.
Okay. Eileen, did you get to hear? Roll call vote. Did she get bumped out? Mark?
Eileen's muted.
Aye.
Thank you. And myself, Wendy Smith, aye. All right, so that will be continued to July 11th at 5:30. Next up, we have 180 Broad Street, map 21, lot 143, 144, 149, and 150. Mr. Meltzer had hoped to have the third-party review, but he actually just received it this afternoon. So we haven't had a chance to receive it yet. We haven't had a chance to look it over, obviously. So he asked also for a continuance to the July 11th meeting at 5:30. So do I have a motion to continue that?
Motion to continue.
Okay.
Second.
The 180 Broad Street, map 21. And you seconded?
Mark seconded it. Yep.
Okay, thank you. And a roll call vote. Harry Bailey?
Aye.
Thank you. Mark Peterson?
Aye.
Eileen Prisco?
Aye.
Marilyn McDonald,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy Smith, aye.
I think I was muted when I was finishing that. That was for third-party peer review still out for July 11th. I don't
Yeah.
think, just for the record. Okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay, so just to run through real quick, we have a notice of intent for 69 Harvard Street, map 32, lot 99. We have a notice of intent for 0 State Prison Road, map 90, lot 999B. Then we have new business, a notice of intent for 590 Cross Street, a notice of intent for 90 East Street. And then we have several certificates of compliance and a request for a permit extension under administrative items. So we'll go back to old business, the notice of intent for 69 Harvard Street, map 32, lot 99. Is someone on for that applicant?
I am.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Good.
So,
So,
oh, nope,
I'm
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Marilyn and I both made it out for a site walk just to double check the line. And we found no issues.
Okay, great.
So,
Yeah, so per the last meeting, you guys were gonna go out and visit the site, which, as you said, took place. Everything was staked out. There was the outstanding question about the pool in the back. I had done a lot of research on that. And the conclusion is either one of two things happened. Either the previous owner never filed a permit for it, or an RDA was issued. I was in contact with Nicole Salvo numerous times. I went through the Registry of Deeds as well as the Notice of Intent database on DEP's website. And the only thing that comes up is the NOI that we have before you today. What I was able to locate, and if you'll allow me to share my screen.
sure. Bob, do you have that?
I think I can do it. I don't know if I need his permission. I think I've got it. Make sure I share the right thing here. Doot. Are you guys able to see that?
Yes.
Okay, so my other investigative work here, if you look, this is a Google Earth shot from the date on the bottom here is December 31st, 2000. That is the lot. There's no pool present. And we go here, everything between then and this date is just all blurry muck. It looks like in March 31st, 2005 is where we see that the pool exists. It looks like there may have been some construction over the winter during that time. I don't know. But it looks like it was constructed in 2005. And the deed for when my client purchased the home is right here, and they didn't purchase it until 2011. So that was already in place. I don't know if any action really is needed. I did reach out to Azu, who was the chairman at the time, just to see if I could get a hold of the 2005 bylaws to see, you know, what the bylaws were at the time. I was unable to get that. I did have a conversation with him though, and he did say it's an existing non-conforming, and that, you know, that you guys really should see it that way, but that's up to you, how you want to view it. And I certainly agree with the previous statement from the last meeting about having some sort of verbiage in the order of conditions that gets issued for this, assuming it does, you know, about not discharging any of the pool water into the wetlands, so on and so forth. So I'm hoping that you guys will agree that that is an appropriate resolution for this.
Thank you for the due diligence that you had on your research. And you know, I would agree. I mean, it's not the current homeowner's fault that that has been done. Had it come before the board, we wouldn't have allowed it, but I don't think, I mean, this is just myself. I can ask other members. But I wouldn't ask that they take it down or anything.
Yeah, I feel like I mean, you guys saw the pool. It's in good shape. They keep it up very nicely.
Mhm.
I feel like removing it at this point would be more detrimental than leaving it.
Mhm. Yeah, I think what you said about having it in the order of conditions for the work that they're gonna do now, that any discharge has to maybe go out to the street and run down that way. Marilyn, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, as we said, we were both out there. I completely agree with the zoo. It's already disturbed, it's existing disturbed. It is what it is at this point. So I have no problem with it. The only thing I would recommend, besides the discharging is a clear wetland line right there. And there's a culvert with some drainage. There's also a little clutter in the wetlands. If you can just have them take it out, and there's some type of, I don't know, poison that got one of my legs, but otherwise, I don't have an issue with this. Just being, again, excellent due diligence, and it's a pre-disturbed area, and I think the stuff on the discharge is right on target too. So I don't have any further problems.
Great.
Marilyn, can I just ask, what did you say to be taken out? The
I
trap?
just want some debris in the wetlands, like full
Right
the
over
stuff
here,
like
right?
that.
Yes,
Really
yes.
should keep our wetlands
Me too.
So just, and just want any kids out there, there's something out there.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so I did see that as well, and I figured that would be brought up. So, yeah, it's like trees and brush and just debris in this general area where the landscape
Yes.
area is, yeah. So, yeah, we can have the contractor remove that, when the
Yeah,
time.
and it's in the backside of, I think, where that A2 is. I think there might
Yeah.
be a pile that's there.
Right,
That would be good if that came out.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
What's the debris? Is the debris, is it logs or is it trash?
There's
What
a
I recall,
couple,
it's like logs and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like old wood mark, and it looks like there might have been an old flower bed maybe put in there from a previous resident, and then just felt like some chairs, stuff like that should not be in wetlands, so they can pull that out.
Oh yeah, definitely. I thought you were talking about logs or something, fallen logs, and that or fallen trees. Those should stay.
No, it looks like it was played the former maybe flower bed and just some stuff that doesn't really need to be in the wetlands.
yeah. Okay, that sounds good. So, anybody else? Mark, you made that comment. What about Eileen or Harry? Do you have any questions?
No, I agree with everything that has been said.
Okay, thanks. Harry, same?
Yep, same.
Okay, thank you. So are there any abutters that have any questions or concerns?
Just ask them to use the raise their hand feature.
There you go. Use the raise your hand feature. Or if you're on video, you can wave at Bob.
Amanda, if you could stop sharing your screen, I can see everybody.
Oop,
Thank
sorry.
you. Madam Chair, I'm not seeing anybody's hand up.
Okay, thank you. So with that, do we have enough information that we can close?
I would make a motion to close 69 Harvard Street, map 32, lot 99.
Second,
Thank you, Eileen. Roll call vote, Marilyn,
Aye.
Eileen,
aye.
Harry,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy, aye. And now we need a motion to issue.
I would make a motion to approve 69 Harvard, map 32, lot 99 with special conditions as followed. The water drainage of the pool, the cleaning up of the debris of the back, and any other members. Am I missing anything?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Thank you. Do we have a second for that motion?
Second.
Thank you. Thank you. So roll call vote, Marilyn,
Aye. Sorry, I'm muted. Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Eileen,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy, aye. All right, Amanda, you're all set there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Anna.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have a notice of intent for 0 State Prison Road, map 90, lot 999B, We opened it last time, read in the ad, and we continued it. So is the applicant representative CDW Consultants on, and they would like to share what's going on down there?
Yeah, hi everyone. This is Brian Miller with CDW Consultants.
Hi, Brian.
We're the SARS contractor for Mass DEP,
Okay,
and SARS stands for Site Assessment and Remediation Support Services. And I'll share my screen in a second.
do we have a DEP file number for this? I don't have one on my agenda.
Yeah, I actually sent that to Nicole Salvo. It was it's SE 116-1549.
Okay, thank you.
So this is give you a brief overview of the project. This is basically the area right here where there was a former Rainbow's End playground. So Mass DEP received the Brownfields grant to clean up the soils contaminated with arsenic there. So the playground was constructed in 1991,
Mhm.
and
Mm.
it was removed in 2019 over concerns of the arsenic pressure treated wood. Then additional testing was completed in 2020 where they identified elevated concentrations, and that's basically when it became a DEP issue.
Mm.
So then CDW came in and tested in 2024, and we basically identified the areas that needed to be cleaned up. It's essentially the top 6 inches of soil with a few deeper areas. And let me just move to the next. So it's basically we identified it by cell. So it's these highlighted cells here are cells with elevated arsenic. So we plan to just come in from the eastern side. Vehicle access is from the soccer complex. We have erosion control. We're proposing around this area, which could be hay bales, silt fence. There's bordering vegetated wetland over on the western side here, which is what we're protecting. So we're basically not proposing any tree cutting. It's pretty wide open. There's some large trees, but I think we can work around those. And we're basically just only working in the buffer zone, nothing within the actual wetlands. Any stockpiled excavated soil would be outside the buffer zone in this area and surrounded with hay bales or straw wattles.
Mhm.
And then at the end, we're just coming in to backfill it, any deep excavations with common fill, and then 0 to 6 inches with loam, and just proposing to leave it all in place. I don't think we're proposing any seeding. And I guess we'll just leave the erosion control in place until, kind of natural growth reestablishes.
Mhm.
And that's pretty much the extent of what we're proposing.
Okay. Great. It would be nice to get the arsenic soil out of there, yes. Okay, thank you, Brian. Commission people, anyone have any questions, concerns?
I just went out there a little while ago, Wendy, today. I'm very familiar with Rainbow's End.
Mhm. Me
Where I
too.
took my kids. So I went in and looked, it's all gated off in there, but I went in and looked at the line from the old parking lot and then went in from the soccer field. I don't
Mhm.
see any issues, and the soil needs to be removed. It's a good thing. So I have no issues with this at all. And like I said, I did a quick view of everything looks in order out there.
Anyone else?
I have a concern. So if this is going to be the soil kind of removed, and then just left to naturally regrow, what's going to grow there is probably going to be invasive plants, probably oriental bittersweet and Japanese knotweed and honeysuckle. I'm just wondering if this might be a good opportunity to plant some plants or native plants that should be growing in the woodlands. And then since we already have a fence there, they'll be protected from the deer. So there could be a deer exclosure, which is already in place, and a nice little project to see what native plants would actually thrive in our woodland areas, as opposed to just having the deer come through and just eat them up. So that's my concern. In any case, I would like to see it reseeded with native plants, as opposed to just letting it come back on its own, because it will come back with invasive plants.
Thanks, Mark.
Now, what about reseeding it with just like a field grass or something like that?
I mean, if it's in the woods.
I mean, and the fence is temporary, correct?
Yeah, the fence is not permanent.
Yeah, the fence is just temporary from where they're gonna be working. I didn't see anything majorly, invasive out there, so, like I said, I was fine.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to some kind of field grass. I mean, that's what would be growing in the fields. Soccer fields, if they didn't, cut the grass all the time, probably.
Yeah, I think right
Harry?
now it's
Okay.
basically just pine needles and a little bit of kind of weedy material. So there's really not much growing there. It's mostly just pine needles.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's in a highly wooded area. It's in between like the old parking lot and then the soccer field. There's not any opening out there. You have to really kind of go through a little path. So it's not like it's an open field. Certainly the field grass wouldn't hurt it. Thanks.
Thanks. Eileen, do you have any thoughts?
No, I think the field grass would work perfectly. To the right of it's all fields, and to the left of it was all fields. So it's, the fence down, it's gonna need to look, I mean, otherwise it's gonna look like hell.
Right.
What do we mean by field grass, though? Is that it just like for people's lawns or something? Are we talking about little blue stem, or are we talking about Kentucky bluegrass?
Yeah, I think what I've used before is just kind of it's called like a woodland field mixture, where it's just kind of natural field grass, not something you typically mow or
Yeah.
just kind of look like, a golf course or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. The stuff we just throw down for a quick grow that, is kind of like native. It's not going to be a golf course grass.
No, it's gonna be like a fescue or wild hay.
Oh, okay. Like sedges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That sounds good, Brian. Harry, thoughts?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Are there any abutters that are on that have any questions or concerns regarding this project?
Again, use the raise your hand feature. Brian, if you don't mind, stop sharing your screen so I can see everyone, please. Thank you. Madam Chair, I'm not seeing any hands raised.
Okay, thank you, Bob. With that, do we have enough information to close the hearing?
Yeah, I would make a motion to close Zero State Prison Road, map 90, lot 9998.
Second.
Thank you. And with that, a roll call vote. Marilyn,
Aye.
Eileen,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
thank you, and myself, Wendy, aye. So Brian, you folks are all set.
Oh, we gotta make a motion to approve. Chair would
Um,
entertain a motion to approve. We just closed it.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Can I have a motion? I'm thinking with the roll call vote, we did it already. It's been a
We
long
just
day.
closed. Now we'll make a motion. I'll make a
Yep.
motion to approve Zero Straight Prison Road, map 90, lot 9998, with the condition of doing some field grass.
Plants.
Thank you.
Can we
Okay.
specify where the seagrass comes from? The New England, New England Seeds Company or something like that? Or
Well,
Yeah, I think it's that company out in Amherst. New England Seed. Yeah, that sounds right.
okay. Sorry.
thank you. So we had the motion to approve. Do we have a second?
You did second.
Okay, thanks, Eileen. With that, roll call vote. Marilyn,
Aye.
Eileen.
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
And myself, Wendy, aye. So Brian, you're all set. Thank you so much. And good luck with that. And we'll put the order of conditions regarding the field grass seed.
Great. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Have a good night.
You too.
Thanks. Okay, next up, new business. Let's see, we have a notice of intent for 590 Cross Street, map 117, lot 12. The applicant representative is Pauline Spiney Collins Civil Engineering Group LLC. The DEP file number is SE 116-1548. The legal ad, abutters have been notified, and the legal ad is in accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Town of Bridgewater Local Wetland Bylaw. Bridgewater Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on June 27, 2024, for notice of intent filed by Pauline Spinney. The applicant proposes to upgrade a residential septic system. Property is owned by Pauline Spinney and is located at 590 Cross Street, Bridgewater, Mass. Map 117, parcel 12. Please contact the Bridgewater Conservation Office at 508-697-0950 for the time and location or link for virtual participation. All interested parties are encouraged to attend. Agenda can be found at www.bridgewaterma.org at least 48 hours prior to the meeting date. So do we have someone from either Pauline or Collins Civil Engineering on that wants to share this project?
Yes, my name is George Collins, registered professional engineer from Collins Civil Engineering Group,
George Collins.
representing Pauline Spinney for septic trade. Let's see, let's share my screen here. Did everybody see that?
Yep.
Yes.
So I was contacted by Mr. and Mrs. Spinney to come out and design a new septic system.
Mhm.
I explained to them that there's an on-site wetland resource area. Basically, this is Cross Street to the north. This is the house here. Is the proposed septic system. It's outlined in red. The actual wetland resource is over here located in green. It's actually off the property. The entire, all the work is out, all of the actual construction associated with the septic system is outside of jurisdiction. The orange is the 50-foot buffer and the magenta is the 100-foot buffer. So the actual leaching field and septic tank that are proposed are out of jurisdiction. However, we do have to come down this driveway, and then there is an area in here. Right here I have a crushed stone tracking pad. So there will be site access in this location within jurisdiction, and then they will be accessing all the equipment through here with the pool in the way. The pool is here, and then in here is like a heavily wooded area, so access through here is not an option. So basically, we're gonna have site access through here. This red dashed line here is a straw wattle, and then I also have another straw wattle proposed here. This will contain any earthwork associated that'll occur with the traffic going in and out in this portion of the project, and then as a precautionary measure, if there's any dirt or anything like that being tracked into the this driveway area, I have erosion control straw wattle proposed along here just to prevent any impact on the wetland. This project has been approved by the Board of Health. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that anybody might have.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. So that paved road is that the paved drive is already there leading out to the barn?
Yes, yeah.
I don't have any questions. Anybody else on the commission have a question? Concern? Thanks, Eileen.
No, he said it was a failed septic, right?
Yes.
It
Yep.
was- I have
Yeah,
no,
There's no real estate transaction. They're just trying to fix the system.
Septic systems need to be fixed, as long as you're covering, which you showed that you are, the wetland line for any kind of, you know, sediment, whatever. I think I'm fine with it. Harry, any questions?
No, I'm fine with this.
Okay, Mark?
No questions.
Okay, thank you. Any abutters on that have any questions or concerns regarding this project on Cross Street? You can use the raise your hand feature.
Not seeing any, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Rowley. So with that, we have enough information. We can close this hearing.
make a motion to close, hearing on, notice of intent 590 Cross, map 117, lot 12.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote. Marilyn,
Aye.
Eileen,
Aye.
Mark,
All right.
Harry.
Aye.
Thank you. Myself, aye. And do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve 590 Cross, map 117, lot 12.
Second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote. Marilyn McDonald,
Aye.
Eileen Prisco,
Aye.
Mark Peterson,
Aye.
Harry Bailey,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy Smith. Aye. All right, Mr. Collins, you are all set to go ahead with your work with the septic.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Next up, we have a notice of intent for 90 East Street, map 26, lot 44. The applicant representative is Ronald and Whitney Esquire, Collins Civil Engineering Group, LLC. The DP file number is SE 116-1547. Mr. Collins, are you on again for this?
Yes, yep.
Okay, so I have a question. I saw in the packet that Nicole Salvo had sent to us that there was a list of the abutters. There was a document that followed it that said that there was a list of abutters and that the ad was in the Enterprise, but there is no ad. Do you have the ad?
I can look in my files right now to see if it's in here.
Because I just, before we came on, was making sure I had all my things and I did not have that one because the information just got sent to me actually, or to us within the last day or two.
I have the ad. I have the ad in my database.
Can you share it?
Sure, we're out here. Not sure why I can't see it. Have it open.
Just want to read it, Mr. Collins, that's sufficient too.
Yeah, that
Okay,
would be fine too.
Okay, in accordance with Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, in the Town of Bridgewater Local Wetland Bylaw, the Bridgewater Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing. Excuse me. On June 27th, 2024, for a notice of intent. Excuse me. For Representative Ronald and Whitney. Located at, for a project located at 90 East Street. Let's see here, I'm sorry, please contact the Bridgewater Conservation Office at 508-697-0950 for the time and location or link for virtual participation. All interested parties are encouraged to attend. The agenda can be found at www.bridgewatermass.org at least 48 hours prior to the meeting date.
Okay, thank you. so with that, you can go ahead and share the project.
I'm sorry, I thought I had. I'm not as prepared as I was hoping to be. Wait a second here. I apologize. I'll be right with you.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah, so this project is located on the east side of East Street. Let's see here, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here. So there's this property has a bordering vegetated wetland across the street and a bordering vegetated wetland in the back of the property. We're proposing the upgrade of a septic system. The existing failed septic system is in this location, which is actually less than 50 feet from the wetland. So what we did is I'm proposing a septic tank and pump chamber in this area with a force main coming over, crossing the driveway, and then placing the leaching field out of the 50-foot buffer zone. I apologize. This line here should be orange. So basically you have the 50-foot buffer from across the street and 50-foot buffer here.
So it's right.
And the septic system is here. So it seemed to be a good location. The only other location you could possibly go would be over in this location. There's a massive tree right here that we're trying to maintain, and there's also a drain line that runs along the property here. So I felt like this was the optimum location to put the leaching field. This red dash line here, and again, I apologize, this should be red here. That's an erosion control straw wattle here and here. I have a proposed dewatering pit, stockpile area, and then I have standard notes that I put on the plan regarding street sweeping, that type of a thing. I am proposing a silt sack in this catch basin. That's the only catch basin in the immediate vicinity. So I figured we would put a silt sack at that location.
Mhm. Okay,
I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that the commission have.
does anyone have any questions?
You said it was failed. Did Board of Health sign off on it yet?
Yes, yep, this is approved, and it is a failed septic system. It's in the groundwater.
I have no issues. Thank you.
Thanks, Marilyn. Anyone else?
Oh, I'm good.
All good. Harry?
All set.
Okay, Mark?
So, thanks.
Okay, and I don't have any questions. It looks like everything is where it needs to be. Any abutters online that have any questions or concerns? Please use the raise your hand feature so Mr. Rulli can unmute you.
Madam Chair, I'm not seeing any.
All right, thank you. With that, we have enough information to close the hearing.
I'd make a motion to close notice of intent 90 East Street, map 26, lot 44.
Second,
Thank you. Roll call vote, Marilyn,
Aye.
Eileen,
aye.
Harry,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy, aye. And now we need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve notice of intent 90 East Street, map 26, lot 44.
Second,
Thank you. And a roll call vote, Marilyn McDonald,
Aye.
Eileen Prisco,
aye.
Harry Bailey, Harry Bailey,
Aye.
thank you. Mark Peterson,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy Smith, aye. All right, thank you.
Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Collins, you're all set.
And just out of curiosity, approximately when do you think the order of conditions would be available for this?
That is a question for possibly Mr. Rulli.
Yeah, I think we have 10 days to issue it. I would say probably the Monday after the 8th, July 8th, with the holiday next week.
Okay, and that would be the date of issuance, and then there'd be the 10-day appeal period after that, am I correct?
Yes,
10 business day appeal period. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, next up. Sorry, I have double copies of things here. Conservation Commission business, we have administrative items. We have a certificate of compliance for 1677 Plymouth Street, map 26, lot 22. Applicant representative is Vicky Shanky Willett, Professional Land Survey Associates. The DEP file number is SC 116-1289. Mr. Rulli, were you able to, do you have information on that?
I don't have the packet in front of me. I assume that if Nicole put it on the agenda, that there's sign off from the engineer that the order of conditions has been met.
Okay. So we just need a motion to issue, correct?
Correct.
Yep, if the office is saying it's good, so we have motion to issue certificate of compliance, 1677 Plymouth Street, map 26, lot 22.
Second,
Thank you. Roll call, oh no. Yes.
Yeah.
Roll call vote, Marilyn,
Aye.
Eileen,
aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy, aye. Thank you. Next up, we have another certificate of compliance, 20 Windermere Way, map 65, lot 44. The applicant representative is Richard Sullivan, Silva Engineering Associates, PC. DEP file number is SC 116-1532. Again, it should be all set if it has been put on the agenda. So,
Correct.
do we have a motion to issue?
Motion to issue certificate of compliance, 20 Windermere Way, map 65, lot 44.
Second,
Thank you. Roll call vote, Marilyn,
Aye.
Eileen,
aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy, aye. Should I
Wendy,
just,
Madam Chair, I'm gonna be recusing myself from the next item for request of permit extension. Thank you.
okay, all right. So next up, we have a request for permit extension, Maryland's Landing, map 40, lots 6, 9, and 17. DP file number is SC 116-1297. So it's just a matter of extending it so that they are covered. So does somebody want to make a motion to issue?
Move the extension.
Yes,
I will make a motion to approve the request for the permit extension for Maryland's Landing, map 40, lots 6, 9, and 17, DEP file number S116-12, SE 116-1297.
thank you. And a
Second.
Thank you, Harry. Roll call vote, Eileen,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy, aye. Thank you. And then can we get Marilyn to come back on? Marilyn, you there? Next up, we have a certificate of compliance. All right, for 980 Plymouth Street, map 54, lot 50 and 51. The applicant representative is Carmen Krugnell, Silva Engineering Associates, PC. DEP file number is SC 116-1408. It's on the agenda. It must be written off on,
It's been signed off.
signed off. So I need a motion to issue.
Motion to issue certificate of compliance, 980 Plymouth Street, map 54, lot 50 and 51.
Second,
Thank you. Roll call vote, Marilyn,
Aye.
Eileen,
aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy. Aye. All right, thank you. Next up, we have update on 1185 Pleasant Street, the fire station project.
Yep, so if you've been by there, you'll see that there is some activity that's begun. All of that work is outside of the wetlands. What I'm requesting is that you allow Eric Dias, the engineer, and myself to give you a more formal update on the July 11th meeting, where things will have moved along a little bit more.
Okay. So more updates on 7-Eleven. Okay. Do we have to, we don't have to make a motion for that, do
No,
we?
just
Okay.
giving you the courtesy.
Giving it an update for the update. Okay.
And don't get choked up over it.
I know, I've got like a wicked cold with my nose and throat's driving me crazy. Next
take off.
up, we have. Did someone
I was
say
just saying,
something?
thanks for the update.
Oh. Next up, we have the Lake Shore Center violation. Who wants to take that? So we were notified that they had cleared and cut some trees. There was question whether or not it was the town of Bridgewater that maybe had gone out and cut and didn't realize maybe what they were doing, or if it was the landscapers or whoever from Lake Shore Center.
Mr. Brennan is here for, I think, representing Lake Shore.
Okay, so I'm not sure what we do at this point, so.
Okay, well, if I may, Madam Chairman, just
Sure.
to address the issue, we did
Can you
receive the
just state your
notification.
name? State
Oh,
your
sorry.
name.
Attorney Ed Brennan, 174 Dean Street in Taunton, representing the property owner.
Okay, thank you.
As I was saying, we did receive the notification of the, but regarding the activity on the site. The work was done by the Claremont subcontractor, so it was done on behalf of the property owner. When we got the notice, and we did take a look at the order of conditions from 2016, which incorporated a letter from a Ecotech at that time that all related to some pruning of invasive species and some vista pruning. In the last couple of days, I've taken a careful look at that, and the Claremont representatives were on the site to determine where the activity actually took place. And it appears to us at this point that the activity that was undertaken does fall within what was allowed under the order of conditions and the Ecotech letter. However, we clearly were outside of the time frame during which it was supposed to be done. It was allowed to be done 2 times per year between September 1st and May 1st. So clearly the time frame was not adhered to. So we've undertaken a pretty careful review internally of how that happened and the communications with our subcontractor. We're still looking into that. And what I would suggest, Madam Chairman, is that we report back with some amendments to the protocols as to what we can put into place so this doesn't happen again. And if the commission is amenable, I would ask that we put on the agenda for July 25th for us to report back further on this.
Okay.
But we
thank
do
you.
recognize that it was done by a Claremont subcontractor.
Okay. Marilyn, thoughts?
Yeah, thank you for your honesty, but you know, this is round 2, and it's clearly in those orders that, and now there's a sign up there that we are to be notified prior that we need to be on site along with the bot. So, I mean, this is extremely disappointing. To me, it just reads that they're not paying attention to this highly critical area in Bridgewater here. You know, this is one of the biggest areas of the ACEC, and nobody's paying attention to the order of conditions. And there's a lot more that's been taken down out there. So my thought is the correction on this. I want to see it mitigated with, you know, restoration of the plants that have been taken down. I mean, clearly it's a violation of the order of conditions. I know we were part of this, and Harry, you can weigh in too on that. Round 2.
Okay, back when the first Vista cleaning was done, I voted no. And when it got passed, there was special conditions that no power tools were to be used, all hand tools were to be used. A conservation commissioner or agent was to be present. A certified arborist was to be there. When I went by, there was the brush cutter going up and down the sides of the trees. I called the other commissioners and they said, well, you're there. I said, I voted no, come down here and put a cease and desist on him. He's been breaking every rule. And I don't remember stating that he can do this every year. He's to notify the commission. I'm getting tired of him, but I already know he's got enough money. He can just pay off the fine. So I'm getting fed up with him.
Harry, I agree, totally agree with you. And fines is not going to be the answer because, you know, they can pay the fines. What's going to be the answer is enforcing this highly for this critical area, and enough is enough. So, you know, it needs to be mitigated. In my point, these plants need, these trees and everything need to be put back. You know, once the second chance and then this, no, I'm staying firm on that. So I'd like to hear from the other commissioners also.
I mean, I would like to say that Vista clearing or whatever to be able to see. I mean, yes, you can drive down any road and the plants on High Street, whatever, they grow up, they grow high, they need to be cut back. Like, I understand like cutting things so that they're not climbing out into the street, and, you know, clearing some things so that they're not like real messy looking, but they were clearly like trees that were cut. I don't think that these were invasive species. They just didn't, there was no right. So I'm on board with like what, Marilyn's talking about, mitigating it by replanting. Like those need to come up, something needs to be replanted in the same spot. That would be my thought.
And Vista pruning is 10%. That's a lot more than 10% that was cleared out there.
Yeah. And I think maybe they do need to have somebody out there when they do it between September and May. Not in June or in
Right,
April.
well, we recognize the time frame, Madam Chairman.
Yep.
Could I,
Yeah.
Ed, could I?
Yeah,
This
Matt Trider from Claremont is here also, and he walked the site today to try to get a good handle
Better.
on what the activity was. So, Matt, I didn't see it firsthand, so I'd like to defer to Matt on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so thank you for taking the time. I'm Matt Trider with Claremont. And so we did walk out. We were concerned when we heard this happen. We went out there and we looked at what was addressed by the landscaper. So it looked to us that he mowed the grass from the back of the sidewalk. Maybe about 2 swipes with the mower, and then he did go into where there were some like plantings that were growing. And I would, from my walk out there, I did not see any trees. We did not notice any trees that were taken down. There's some invasive species types of plants that were, and I'm not a arborist, but it just looks like some saplings or some small little brush that was maybe, a ½ inch to 1 inch in diameter, but there were no trees that when we walked that we noticed that were taken down. It was just he just kind of brushed back what was growing out. And, we did look at the order of conditions, and, there's like a 30-foot strip that, do not go further than that for the maintenance of that area, even though we admit that, like Ed said, it was outside of the time. It was after May 1st when this happened. So, but I just wanted to and I would like to, if you want, I could meet somebody out there and to look at these and what we did take down as far as restoring something. I just want to, we want to make this right. And as far as restoring what was there and trees that were cut down, I just wanted to point out that no trees were actually cut down that we could see. There were no stumps or anything that was a large plant or tree that was removed. And, if you want me to meet somebody out there and walk it and you tell us what you need us to do, we will do it.
I think, I know I can picture the picture of the cut trees, and they were small in diameter. There was a group of them, so maybe it was a bush or a shrub or something that was cut back, but that shouldn't have been cut back. I don't believe it looked like it had been established for even to have that much and that many in one thing. But I think that you're right. I think that, maybe 1 or 2 of us could go out, meet you, take a look at the order of conditions that you have, that we have on file, and look at it and do some measuring and get a really clear understanding of what what is acceptable and what is not acceptable, so we don't have to come back to this again. That would be my thought.
Wendy,
Madam Chair,
also, I think it should be a quorum that goes out there. I think the commission.
Well, we probably
anybody that
would,
wants-
we would have that. Yeah, we would have
Yeah,
to do.
you know, because again, this is round 2 and they got a good swipe on the first round. So I think we need, you know, everybody out there that has a say on this.
Madam Chair, I would suggest that we can post and schedule a site visit, that the matter be continued to the July 25th meeting
25th. Mhm.
with after the site visit with an acceptable mitigation plan.
Okay,
Madam Chairman, if I may just add one point,
sure.
the area that was the subject to the original order of conditions incorporating the Ecotech letter had broken the area down essentially into 2 different areas, one being a 30-foot stretch from the sidewalk towards the lake where there was a lot of invasive species and things that the environmentalists said should be removed and tried to remove from the area permanently and then mowed to keep it down at least 2 times a year. Then there was another condition that talked about the area between the sidewalk and the edge of the lake. And that is what the one that pertains to trees larger than 6 inches in diameter to be maintained. But the limbs going up and the canopies could be cleared of dead wood and the vista pruning could take place. So there's a 30-foot section that talks about the underbrush and the invasive species. And then there's the area between the sidewalk and the lake that goes to larger trees and vista pruning. So I just wanted to point that out. There's 2 different categories of allowable work within the distance between the sidewalk and the lake.
Mr. Brennan, are you agreeable to having somebody from Claremont meet the Conservation Commission for a site visit and then come back on the 25th with some kind of mitigation or mediation plan?
Sure, absolutely. No issue.
Bob, would it be also important to maybe have one of the third party reviews out with us that are familiar with, you know, the trees and plants for mitigation? Would that be appropriate at this time?
I almost think you'd probably rather have an arborist.
Yes, yeah, that'd be great.
So I would put the onus on Claremont to have someone available whenever the site visit is scheduled.
That would be super helpful. Thank you.
Is there any arborist that you guys usually work with that you would like us to reach out to, or we do use one, Bartlett? An arborist named Bartlett, Robert McKinney, if it's
Yeah, I
acceptable.
think Bartlett is, you know, a regional, if not national company with experience. So as long as they have a certified arborist as representing them, I think that's acceptable. I won't speak for the commission, but I mean, I'm certainly familiar with Bartlett.
No, Bartlett is a really good great arborist.
Okay, I'll reach
Yeah,
out
we
to
only
them.
have the ones for like the wetland specialist. So if Bartlett is a certified one, I don't think the commission has a problem. I don't. Any other commissioners want to weigh in on that?
He's worked on our property before across the street here. So he's done a tree inventory, so he's familiar with the area.
If the commission could give us a date when you think you can assemble a quorum, then we can put the other players into motion.
We'll get that to you, Mr. Brennan.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So we'll do that. So you'll hear from Mr. Rulli, Mr. Brennan, or Mr. Trider. We'll figure it out in the next couple of weeks,
Okay,
Yep.
morning or afternoon, whatever.
yeah, thank you very much.
All right. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Thank you. Last up, we have 280 Water Street, a possible violation. I think we need I've been by, Marilyn's been by, we haven't stopped. I don't know like where to go, if we need to do a Google thing or what is it, like the USGS map or something? Or if Harry and Marilyn or anybody can go out there and just take a look.
Marilyn, is this the gentleman we met with in my office?
No, that is
That's
Vernon.
Mike.
Okay. No, we'll be going out with him after the 4th or whatever date you have on that. So that's not the bad. This is just something that came across us that I driven by. I'm not sure if they, it looks a little suspicious. Harry's familiar with it. I think they were before the commission before in a while. It just looks like it might be an area that they're going towards the wetlands that we might have to have somebody look at.
And
I
just
can
so
have
you're
Mr.
aware of
Slaughter-
it, it's the, so Skeeter Mill Pond. I don't know, that's what we called it growing up. So it's on Water Street. There's a culvert that goes under Water Street and comes out, and it's a town conservation land that's like all on that side. This house, it looks like they've cleared brush and trees. I don't know, the person next door had said that there is a river or a stream that runs behind his house, which would make that it goes behind this 280 water also. So it's just questionable as to what they've done. There was a truck seen there with dirt, soil, a long truck.
So we
Uh,
can do two things in the short term. I can ask the building official, Mr. Solari, to take a ride out and see what he sees, if he's aware of anything. Or we can send them a letter requesting that they, or you don't have to even request it, tell them that we're gonna have a site visit. Or at least some members of conservation want to come out. I mean, you have the ability to go anywhere you want, but just to give the property owner a heads up.
mhm. I don't, what do we want to do?
I mean, I'm fine with either. If Steve wants to take a look at it or going out there. Like I said, I just couldn't really tell by driving by.
I'll have Steve look at it first. If it looks like something that we need to take further action on, I'll advise the chair and the vice chair.
That sounds like a good plan, Bob.
And then we
Okay.
can have it on the agenda again for July 11th, just to update.
Okay. July 11th update. Okay, that sounds good. Next up are minutes. I got a chance to look through all four. They looked okay to me. So it was the minutes of April 11th, April 25th, May 9th, and May 23rd.
I also did my homework. Has everybody else done their homework?
Good job.
Yep, I'm all set.
All
Good.
right, then. I'll make a
Mark?
motion to approve minutes.
But wait a minute, Mark, did you get to
Yeah.
see them?
Yeah,
Okay,
they're-
Harry, did you? Where'd Harry go?
Yes, I saw.
Okay, great. Go ahead, Marilyn.
Okay, we'll make the motion for minutes for 4/11, 4/25, 5/9, 5/23 for approval, please.
Second,
Thank you. Roll call vote, Marilyn,
Aye.
Eileen,
aye.
Harry,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
myself, Wendy, aye. All right, thank you. And with that, we're at the end, but I'm not
I do
sure-
have some business I want to share with the commission if anybody else has anything first or.
All right, and no, I just was curious. There was like a couple other people on, maybe they're just on just to listen.
Yeah, it's just listening at this point. It's no open hearings. So if anybody else has anything for the commission, but at this point, I just want to do an update with the town agent. Halifax Selectmen passed their joint thing with the Selectmen the other day. Michael Dutton's updated me that they do have a contract between Bridgewater and Halifax to start looking for an agent. So Bob, hang on, help's coming, but you've been a trooper. So as we get updates and it's going to be a search, we'll keep the board updated. So both Halifax and Bridgewater is keeping their boards updated. I also think at this point, maybe once we do get an agent, that we should look at some of the bylaws. A lot of towns, we're a 25-foot bylaw. A lot of towns are 50-foot. I think there's a benefit of that. I also know we have one of the most critical ACEC areas in the state of Massachusetts for, natural heritage and the beauty of that. And places that have ACEC areas have also put bylaws in of 150 feet, no touch. I think that might be something we want to look at, seeing as we have one of the most precious ones in the state. So again, that's just, getting the topic going, that maybe once we get an agent, we can start looking into updating, which they are overdue, our local town bylaws. So that was what I wanted to update you guys on. And at this time, as we discussed with the third party reviews, now that Zero Lakeshore is in and the commission has had time and we're just pending for our agent, not our agent, but the third peer to make a meeting, it should be released now. So
We'll post it.
yep, sounds
Oh,
good.
65
We have not had a
pages?
chance to review 180 or see it, so we'll, if that, once we do that, and if it's if it's again, we can post that. But I'm good with posting the third peer one now that we've had a chance to
On
review.
Lakeshore.
the consultant to come so that everybody can ask questions.
I've got it in front of me. It's 65 pages. Thanks, Marilyn.
I thought you'd like a printout of it, Harry.
Is that the Lakeshore one you're talking about?
It's all
Um,
highlighted up.
Yeah, I did not print that
I don't
out.
want to really talk about the
Well,
meeting,
I-
but I mean, it's clear for any, now that we've had the chance, we have to go with the point of order is what I'm saying. So,
Mhm.
it's come to us, it needs to be released. No, we're good to go.
Okay. I just, before we close out, there were two things. One, and this is like nothing really, but the Rainbow's End thing, when I was looking at, I wanted to make a comment and I forgot to, when I was looking at the abutters, there was a Town of Bridgewater Smallpox Cemetery was one of the abutters. Did you know that we had that? Town of Bridgewater Smallpox Cemetery. Yep. I thought that was interesting. And I had another thing, but you know what? I'm not gonna bring it up now. So, anybody else have anything? And we can make a motion.
Motion to adjourn, if anybody didn't have anything?
Second.
All righty.
All right, have a good night, guys.
Hey, everybody. See you on the 11th.
On the 11th. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, Bob. Thanks.
See ya.
You'll just